Thank you for turning to page 121. Mongoose Needs You. This is a sampling that Mongoose issued for free. You can find it through their website or their Facebook page. I'll put a link to it below. And this is the Battlefield Dev. What they want is us to help them playtest some changes to the Traveler combat system, both melee and a little bit of ranged. And I'm going to try to not editorialize so much as just say what this little book contains. It's nine pages, and it's a fun little read. They say here that this is just so they can include it in a future update. Hoping, he said, that they're not looking to update the core rulebook anytime soon, because frankly, I'm not sure I'm going to pay for another one. If they want to add this into some kind of other book, like another Traveler Companion, something along those lines, I'd be interested. But I like the Traveler Second Edition rules just fine as they are. So there's a little change to initiative. It's going to automatically include tactics from now on. You'll still use intelligence or dexterity. And then they've changed the AP trait. Those are the main differences. So a little bit of how to use the rules, and they're looking for feedback. You can put the feedback, the information's right here. You can go through their blog and put feedback. And then the initiative is changed a little bit. At the start of every combat round, one traveler or character under the referee's control, nominated as a leader, makes either dex or intelligence check. It pays to a quick of hand or quick of mind. If they possess any levels of tactic skills, they may be added to the check as a die modifier. The effect of this check is the initiative of everyone on their side for the duration of the combat, and will reflect when they get to act in a combat round. The side with the lower initiative will act quicker than those, with the higher initiative will act quicker than those with the lower. Travelers may act in any order they collectively decide, and they may freely delay their individual actions. And then we have a couple optional rules to try. Everyone must declare what they are doing after the initiative has been rolled and must stick to these choices. This is very similar to the initiative system in Battletech. In Battletech, you have to allocate all of your mech fire, and if that mech happens to get destroyed, then oh well, too bad, too sad. It's kind of the same thing here. If you end up trying for a target and that target gets dropped, your actions are wasted. And then option rule 2, if the travelers are split into two groups separated by a distance, the referee might want to get each group having its own separate initiative. So that's not a bad way of doing it either. So we come to melee attacks, and melee attacks allow dodging and parrying now. And the melee attack is roll 2d6 plus your melee, appropriate specialty, and strength or dex die modifier. And when attacked, the target may choose to dodge or parry the attack. If the target is unwilling or unable to do either, the attack will be successful on a 2-up. So you kind of have to dodge, which is interesting, but that could theoretically eat up your action for the round. So I'm not sure how that'll play. I rolled a few dice with this and play tested it a bit. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep the editorializing to a minimum. I just want to present what Mongoose is doing here. A target who is dodging makes a dex check opposed by the traveler's melee check. If the result of this check is greater than the traveler's melee check, the attack is completely avoided. If the traveler's melee check is greater than the dodge, the attack is successful and damage is dealt. If the dex check and melee are equal, a glancing blow has been dealt. We have some rules for some glancing blows. Note that if the attack is successful, the amount by which the melee check beats the dodge will be the effect for the roll. So if my attack were 4 higher than your dodge attempt, that would be my effect for the damage, plus 4. This will be important when damage rolled for, and then parrying works much the same way. Target is parrying makes a melee check using the appropriate specialty for the weapon or shield they are parrying with. If the result is greater than the traveler's melee check, the attack is completely avoided. So you hide behind your shield or you parry it with another blade. If both melee checks are equal, glancing blow has been added. Then we get to a glancing blow, which if a melee or a ranged attack check is equal to the dodge or parry made to counter it, a glancing blow has been struck. Perhaps a blade managed to slide off the defender's weapon, to score a nick across the cheek, or the defender is bruised by the sheer weight of the attack. If a glancing blow is scored, damage is rolled for as usual, but then halved before any protection from armor is taken into account. Okay, and then we get some parrying with the shield. Shield cannot parry a weapon that has a greater armor penetrating AP trait higher than the protection score. A shield can be set against attack, and then strengthen melee because bigger things hit harder. And then we get special circumstances. We get some rules for charging. By rushing a target, Traveler can translate their momentum into a significant amount of damage. You have to be essentially 18 feet away to make a charge. So that's kind of interesting. Disarm, you can try to, in melee, you can flick their weapon away from them, but it states clearly the shields and weapons held in both hands cannot be disarmed. Dual weapons, you can wield two at once. Multiple attacks, how we would deal with multiple attacks. Multiple enemies, how you would deal with multiple enemies. Ranged attacks, very, very similar. The dodge is a little worse, of course, but that's really it. And then armor piercing, this is interesting. The rule introduces a subtle but important change to AP trait. In a nutshell, AP becomes all or nothing, either completely nullifying the armor or having the full protection applied to it. While this simple change to the text in the rule, it means that the chance of change to protection and AP scores of armor and weapons throughout the game can create some interesting dynamics. We have therefore also listed armor and weapons from many Traveler books, tweaking their scores. So here we have all the armor, their attack level, and their protection value, all the way up from Jack to Battle Dress. And then we have the APX trait. Replace the APX trait with the following, APX. This weapon has the ability to punch through armor by the use of specially shaped ammunition or high tech. It will completely ignore the protection score of any armor equal to or less than the AP trait. Armor that has a higher protection score will completely ignore the AP trait and be immune to it. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that one yet. Like I say, I've thrown a few dice with this so far. I haven't done any kind of testing, and honestly, I'm probably going to drag one of my sons to a table for about half an hour over the weekend, and we're going to see what we can make of this, see if there's significant changes or not. And then we have all the AP values for the various items, and then we get the AP and effect option. If you've gotten this far, congratulations. This test section is purely optional, or the last section is purely optional. It's something they came up with, but they haven't quite decided if they want to put it in. And the rule is simply this. You can apply either the effect of a successful attack roll to either the attack's damage as normal or add it to the AP trait of the weapon being used. Interesting. The idea here is to simulate precision shots, weak points in armor, and on occasion, hitting a location where there is no armor, such as, say, a flak jacket. So that's it. It's just 9 pages. It's free. It's neat. I like that they're still looking for ways to improve Traveler. As I said, I'll go ahead and I'll grumble right now. I'm not interested in buying a new core rulebook. I love Traveler. I love Mongoose Traveler especially, but I don't play Warhammer much anymore because of the endless new rulebooks. And even my son Adam is ready to bail on Warhammer because of that. So just my opinion, I'm sure I'm one of many, many people who say that. So I would prefer to see this as some kind of supplement, a la the Traveler Companion, rather than a new core set of rules. Just how I feel about it. I don't work for Mongoose. I have no affiliation with Mongoose. I'm just a fan who talks about Mongoose on his channel. But that's it. That's all I've got today on page 121. I hope you liked what you heard and saw. Let me know your thoughts on this. Please download the free Battlefield Dev and give Mongoose some feedback. The only way we can really influence something like this is by giving our feedback. And that's really it. I'm looking forward to putting my feedback to Mongoose very soon. So that's all I've got for today on page 121. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Take a look at the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.